Happy Monday, everyone. Oh man, talk about an eventful weekend between March Madness and I heard something happened at the Oscars. I don't know, something about a SmackDown, call me crazy, WWE, I'm not sure. But man, do we have a crazy freaking weekend. I would be draped in my UNC jersey right now, but I figured we probably would go something like this. But man, crazy weekend to say the least. So hope you all had a wonderful weekend. If you stayed up to watch the Oscars, it came with some fireworks to say the least. I know there's a little bit of debate. Was it real? Was it fake? I can tell you on this show, no one's slapping anyone and no one is going berserk on anyone. So we actually will show the love and not slap anybody. So no fireworks on this show. So craziness all the way around. March Madness did not disappoint. Obviously, I am very happy. It plays out that we're going to have a UNC Duke. I remember when the brackets first came out, I was just like, man, if this adds up and ends up being what it's going to be, it's going to be awesome. Obviously I'm cheering for the Tar Heels for sure, but it's going to be pretty awesome. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. So hope you all had a really good weekend yourself. It's been, like I said, I don't know where you are in the country right now. Let me know where you're listening, how you're hearing this. It's been we're in the part of the year right now where the weather doesn't know what it wants to do. It's schizophrenic and decides that we had some snow. We had some sun. It doesn't know. I think yesterday we were at a bridal shower and I think we woke up yesterday, I think it was 15 degrees. So we're at that point right now. It's just like, man, just make up your mind. Like we want to either be 60 degrees or 15 degrees. Like it doesn't know what it wants to do right now. So, keeps things interesting. So it's all good. It's all good. And going into the weekend, man, if you did not catch the show with Dan Moore, please, 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 please do yourself a favor. Go back and watch it. Go back and listen to it. However you're viewing this or consuming this or watching this or listening to this, please go back and consume this, because I know I personally, before this ever gets put on the internet, I go through and I listen to this and rewatch this and edit it and what have you. And that was probably done, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. And then even after I did that, I went back and rewatched it and listened to it multiple times, just because there's so much from that Dan, Dan is such a down to the earth, good human being. First off, I mean, that's just regardless of all of his accolades that he does, Tedx speaker, author, president, there's all these things that he resume and accolades and overall, but he's just overall amazingly good human being that at the end of the day wants to help out, wants to make this world a better place. He's just a good human being. And that I think might be his best title right there. Is just he wants to help out. And he wants to serve. He wants to make this world a better place. And as we went through, I think I have just a quote book just based on that last episode. And the more you listen to Dan, the more you hear him speak, and the more you're around him, you'll just know that he just continues to always have a pen handy, because he's just every time he opens his mouth, something profound is going to come out of his mouth. So I just absolutely love talking to him. Some of the key takeaways that I took from that. I love how he and I were, I have a bit of a sailor's mouth, if you haven't noticed that, and I have to tone it down a little bit on the show. But he and I get along well for a lot of reasons. One is that we like to speak our mind. And sometimes that may get us in trouble a little bit, but we also know that, hey, you need to call a spade. And so sometimes when people are talking and hey, that's not exactly true. And so let's put the honesty in that. And just because this might not be a popular opinion, let's pull it back and say, this whole show is about facts, not feelings. And hey, here are the facts. This is not what's going on. And yes, do you have to be politically correct sometimes? Yeah, you do. And there are other times that you just need to be completely blunt and say, this isn't accurate and this is why. And whether you want to hear that or not, you can choose to do what you want with the information. And I love the fact that Dan and I can have those honest conversations, and he knows that I'm going to be honest. He does that and I do that. And I love that about him. And he's just, like I said, he's just an incredible human being. So please go back and watch that episode or listen to that episode, however you're consuming this. And your life, there's just a pick me up from always talking to Dan and going through your processes that you may be throwing money at a problem and thinking that's going to solve it. Well, that's not going to solve it. Well, I wrote a check, so that's got to be, I'm done with it. Well, that's not how it works. Just because you wrote a check and you think you're done, set it and forget it. That's not how it works. Because once you write a check, you have to continually work at something and continually work at it. And then look at it and say, okay, well, I did this and I wrote the check, and that process or that system or that company, they're holding up their end of the bargain. So now I got to turn inwardly and think, oh shit, it's us. It's the people and process issue. And that sucks sometimes, because that really pinches and that hurts. And because we have to look inwardly like, oh man, that's us. And it's not a fun thing to do. I mean, in general, in life, I mean, looking inwardly and looking at ourselves and saying, hey, we need to grow. But once we do that, man, the amount that we can do and the amount that we can grow, and what the sky's the limit on what we can do next. But we really do have to look inwardly and say, okay, if this box is checked, it's not a marketing problem. It's not this, the copy's okay, and everything else, and that part is good. In this case, in the automotive industry, once the leads get into us and once the marketing's done their job and they get to the store and we're just not handling them, wow, okay, what can we do then? Maybe we just don't have enough people. Maybe that's maybe the processes are really good. We just are so overwhelmed that we don't have enough people. That's a really simple, well, it's a simple fix. We just got to find the people, but maybe that's harder than obviously getting people, sometimes very difficult. But hey, we know what the process problem is. Maybe it's a little bit bigger where it's a process issue. And that may be a whole other thing where maybe a whole regime change. So inwardly looking, just because I wrote a check and I wash my hands of it, no, it doesn't work that way. So I love that about him. There were so many great other quotes in there at the very end of the of our episode, where he tells his girls every morning of, hey, it's you against you, who's going to win? I love that. Love that quote. And I think that we could all take that to heart and be so much better of, hey, who's going to win? And I love that about you. So Dan, thank you so much for being on the show, and not only having an amazing product that at the end of the day makes us all look a hell of a lot smarter and makes us do our job better and more efficiently, and honestly, a lot quicker. There's so much, the amount of time that I save because of his tool, because of Vista Dash, and because of Car Wars, but they're together there, but is astronomical. Yeah. You guys have all heard me talk about this multiple times. So thank you so much for that. This week, we're switching gears a little bit here. We've got Chris Tragasz on the show, and Chris Tragasz makes me look like an idiot. And I'm very thankful for that. Very thankful for that. He is a cyber securities forensics specialist. So another one I had to say a couple of times there, he just starts talking. You're just like, okay, yeah, you gotcha. So we're covering all sorts of stuff. And especially in this day and age where there's a lot of changes in the auto industry. We've got the GLBA Act coming around down the pike here in the auto industry. We touched on that a little bit. That is a whole episode in itself. So we just lightly touch on that a little bit there. There's a lot of other things, just like simple. He's been in the business in the auto industry for a long time. And he's not just been in the auto industry. He's also been on some other areas, which we'll touch on, and just brings so much knowledge. And so just like simple security, frequently asked questions and simple security, I guess, hacks, you can say, play on words there, that dealers can do to just quickly, hey, what can we do to secure our systems a little bit better? So really enjoy talking to him. And this is one that you really don't want to miss, because even though being on the dealership side, that if you're wearing the hat of digital marketing director or marketing manager, you get asked all the time, and I know this from experience. Yeah, so you're IT, right? Yeah, so you can fix your emails, right? Hey, we have an IP address issue. I'm the marketing manager. I don't handle this stuff. So, and if you're on the IT side, I mean, you're getting bombarded with all these different questions, and it's just, we're in an industry that, once again, Dan, we're coming on this pike of all these security things that we're going to have to button up real quick, and the fine on those are so. One instance is astronomical. And like I said, we'll get into that a little bit more on Friday. So you really don't want to miss this episode. If you do, as always, don't worry. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on anywhere you get your podcast at this point. So subscribe. You don't want to miss it. Go back and watch it later on. So super stoked to have Chris on the show on this Friday. Wrapping up here real quickly on this crazy weekend. There was everything from, obviously, slapping on the Oscars to love. So I'm going to focus more on the love part of it. Anytime I sign off on the show, it's, be kind to others, reach down and help, reach down to the helping hand, and just circle back on that. Just everyone, be kind to everyone. Help anytime you see someone that you think may need help at hand, reach out, help them out. You just never know. I think this world I've loved in the chaos that's going on in Ukraine, and it's a horrible, absolutely horrible situation. If there's the silver lining is seeing people come together. That's been a great thing. So there's always, you have two choices in life, right? You can look on the bright side of things and have the glass half full or the glass half empty. Try as much as possible to be the positive person. Yes. Are there days that suck? 100%. Are there days that you think I just can't have better? Oh, hell yeah. Believe me. Yes. Yes. There are days that just absolutely suck. At the end of the day though, just try to be a positive person and help others, serve others. Just be a good person at the end of the day, and to spread the love. So everyone, as always, thank you so much for being a part of the show, letting me into your house, into your workspace. If you're liking the content, you're getting something out of it, like, subscribe, comment, rate the show. Let me know if there's something that you want to be hearing. If there's someone that you'd love to hear on the show, I'm open to hear your comments. So once again, thank you so much. And we will see you all on Friday with Chris, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.